It's really, really important to me that women are able to speak, even if they say the wrong things.
And I see Rahama here. When you were talking, she was like, oh dear, I have a lot to say. Welcome to Nigeria, officially. Thank you for gathering this crowd of phenomenal women who are doing amazing work at the intersection of gender equality, entertainment, and education. It's very empowering what you have represented for the past 10 years. And I'm sure each one of us here are truly inspired by your work. I watched your speech again, and I had goosebumps in my body when you said this. You said, when the Taliban shot you, the weakness, fear, and hopelessness in you died, and the strength, power, and courage in you was born. There are so many women watching this roundtable today, and they want to know, how can they be as audacious as you? Because that was simply powerful. What you exemplify today and what you exemplified 10 years ago is simply courage. How do women who feel they haven't been given the space to be as audacious, they haven't been given the space to be as courageous, what can they do to exemplify and embody this courage that you have and had 10 years ago when you were just a girl at 16 years old?
I think those who do speak out and step up, a lot of them will tell you, like, I had no choice. This was the only choice I had, because they, and you know, I'm often asked, like, why did I decide to speak out? And I said, I could never have imagined a life without an education. So for me to even picture a world where girls are banned from schools and where they can never see a classroom again, that was worse than, risking my life. I thought, even if something happens, I would say that I lived a meaningful life because I tried to do something to make things better. When you make a place for yourself, you will make it easier for the next woman, for the next girl to enter. And some of you have already done that. Now we hope that it's much easier for the next generation and the generation after to enter and to enjoy their life, to enter any field they want, and to bring their talent and to live a life that they want.
Beautiful. Thank you. How are we seeing women and girls being portrayed in the media that continue to reinforce and perpetuate social norms that are detrimental to the advancement of girls? Maybe we could start with the music industry.
Every woman is more than just her natural capabilities of being a nurturing person or a mother or a wife. I don't think we have figured out how to overcome that yet. But one of the things I started doing, or I have done in small bits that we're now expanding on, is a hub. Because I think that when a lot more girls and a lot more women find a place where they can come to and interact with people who do the same thing that they do, it's no longer focus on the problems, but you're now seeing the possibilities. And for me, that's really what I've been working on.
Okay, first of all, Malala, I love what you're doing so much. I wish I had the courage, but I'm definitely going to try to grow it. Already, it's a man's world, to be honest. And I know that a lot of people just go like, we're feminists, and what it means by being feminist is just attacking a man. But it's a man's world, and there's so many things that a man can do right now that I can't do in my industry. And the only way I know that I cannot accept it is to tell them that and prove to them that I can and I will do it on my own.
I mean, I don't want to say from where I'm coming from, but technically it's from where I'm coming from. There's a lot of boundaries. There's a lot of barriers, especially for women. I grew up struggling to be an actress. And, the zeal and the determination didn't stop me, because I would wake up one day as an actress and see my name on the headlines being banned. And I think I've been banned for like 5 times or 6. Yes. Every day I see that on the news. And it's just, that's always motivates me to because I get a lot of DMs also from girls that wants to become an actress or singer or something. And I feel like if I stop, then these girls will not have a dream. So that's why every day I consistently just be me, because what I believe is that I keep getting bad because I am different. So, and there shouldn't be any problem with being different. So, I mean, I think my story is very different on this table. And that's why I've been an advocate for women, especially in the entertainment industry, and girl child education also. And
Super. Thank you for sharing that. So Jola, I want to bring you in here. Your I Said What I Said podcast. You're very blunt about women's issues. You're always ensuring that you're educating the populace. So talk to us more about that. How are you using your podcast to shape the narrative of the minds of young men and young women alike to ensure that we create a more equitable society for women and girls to thrive?
Very quickly, I realized that I grew up very differently from a lot of people. And as soon as I was hip to that, I decided that I'm already here, so I might as well use it to the best of my ability. It's really, really important to me that women are able to speak, even if they say the wrong things, because at the very least, if you speak and say the wrong things, you can be corrected. And I think I love to laugh. The podcast is funny. But more importantly, I just really do think women should be allowed to have a voice. And I don't mean that just in being able to speak, but having spaces, having representation, being allowed to go for the same opportunities. I don't like when people are hard on talkative girls. I don't appreciate when people make fun of them or say it's not ladylike. I don't appreciate it at all. I think you don't know what you're doing because you don't know the world she's stepping into. That is just really, really important to me. So from very early, women's voices have always been important. So I don't have the time to be precious with people who don't feel the same way. I don't want to have to debate that. And I admire people who are able to be subtle and to be kind and to be very gentle, but you're being unkind. And I don't know why it's now my responsibility
to be kind
to debate it in a kind way when you're in essence telling me to go back to the kitchen or to keep quiet or to shut up or that my work is invaluable. So that's pretty much what it is. I just think women's voices are important, just very, very, they're equally as important, and it needs to be reflected. Yeah.
Sure.
I think one key thing that Jola talked about in summary is the social conditioning, right? Telling a young girl, because I remember when I was younger, they would say, oh, you're so stubborn. I'm like, because I asked a question. You're so stubborn. Oh, because I said no. And I love the fact that you also talked about the emphasis that was placed on your education growing up. And that's why I look at Anto, and I don't want to call you Anto, you are Dr. Anto, excuse me, right? And I look and I'm so encouraged by you because you've pursued, a career that is so, intentional, right? And you have to actually be willing to and putting the work to be able to achieve that. So in your family, did you also have that sort of encouragement to go the extra mile and attain, whatever level of education you wanted to?
Absolutely. I think to this date, my father would have wished that I was a medical doctor, not something else. The best thing my parents did for me was give birth to me in America. I'll be very honest and say I am super grateful for it. Most people want to give birth to their children in America because of the passport and travel purposes. For me, it's not that. The education was paramount. My actual background is exercise and sports science. When I moved to Nigeria, people said, you went to school to gym. Like, people didn't, they didn't get what I was talking about, but it's my passion. I love sports, and I truly believe that, sports can change the world. It's $1 billion business. Yes. And if you think about Nigeria, we have amazing talents, but they don't make their billion until they leave Nigeria. So I came here like, no, I think we can change this here. And then especially myself as a young woman, people were like, what is she talking about? Like, women don't do sports. So I've always been the person doing the opposite of what was expected of me. So I came to Nigeria to work in basketball, and I was a young woman working with men older than my dad. And it did not work. It didn't. They could not understand what this girl was talking about. One, because I was a young woman. And of course, I went to school. I had my master's in it. So they felt intimidated, like she's actually coming here correct, trying to change what we are doing. And they were not for it. So that's how I was like, okay, I have to put the sports thing on a pause before these men drive me crazy. So for me, it was like, okay, I either need to create a brand for myself or I'm going to go back to America because I like my peace of mind, most importantly. As women, we go through a lot, so my peace of mind is paramount.
A lot of these things start from the home and the confidence that first male influence in your life, really, he's like speaking life into you. And I really love that you had that influence. So that's the starting point. So what kind of confidence was given to you? I love that it's later on in life that you realize that, oh my goodness, so what I had at home wasn't actually the norm. And if it wasn't, and you've been, I think you're lucky enough to have had that, whether it's the experience, the education, the exposure, then it's almost a responsibility on you to then hopefully pass that on to other people. So I start off saying that I acknowledge and I feel very blessed to have had those experiences. And it's not perfect by a long shot, but that was a starting point. What I'm hearing a lot of you say, and of course Malala exemplifies this courage, this strength, this resilience is, when you're that one person, that young person, that millennial, whatever it is, that female in that space, just to pull on the strength of the other women around you, pull on the strength of the men around you as well, and just try and speak up about these things. And hopefully you just never know where that will take you.
My mom is a single parent. And just because of her story, people always tend to blame the woman no matter what. Like, they don't want to hear it. And maybe she was wayward. That's why the man left. That's why he doesn't want, like, it's always the woman's fault. And she just had too much to deal with. And I feel like she got old so fast because she wasn't able to live her life in the way she was meant to live it because she was tending for me. And she didn't have a childhood. So how I'm living life is I'm trying to make sure that she lives her life to the fullest through me. And every time I accomplish something, I'm like, yeah, that's for you. So you accomplished it because without you, I wouldn't be here. Because you could have decided to not have me. You could have decided that, yes, maybe I should be in school. You could have decided to listen to everybody else around you. But no, you decided to be strong. And my mom says this thing. She says, real men empower women. Because really, you shouldn't be intimidated by a man, by a woman if you're a man. If you're a real man, if anything, you should want to help. You should want to, you have daughters. Why would you want your daughter's life to end in the kitchen or by just giving birth? Make it make sense. You think that's all she does? She should just reproduce. Really? Even in the Bible, show me where it's at. Please. So yeah, that's really it. That's really what gives me power and hope to keep on pushing.
That's beautiful. God bless your mom.
Yes, absolutely. She did that.
Bless her.
She did the thing.
20-year-old bombshell. Wow. She's so, wow.
Taaooma, you use comedy to deflate a lot of these, defect from a lot of these critics. You do a fantastic job in doing that. When they tell you that, oh, a woman isn't meant to do this, you make people laugh and do it while they're in their faces. So can you talk to us more about that? How has comedy served as sort of the catalyst for these social changes that we are demanding in terms of gender equity?
The stereotypes that have been attached to us, the narratives that they're passing, they're pushing it so hard. I do ignore a lot too. But there are some times that I feel like there are some certain things that we should not let pass. And I'll try as much as possible in my own capacity to reply in a subtle way. In a very subtle way.
Or in a not so subtle way.
Yes, because if you allow this narrative to pass, this as much as I feel like, okay, people don't watch me, people do watch me. People watch Susan. People see what they do on a daily basis. People want to wear my glasses because I'm wearing it. So why do I feel like there'll be a news about me and I'm not defending it and this person will not believe that it's actually true? So when it needs defense, I'll just do it in a subtle way. And if you don't want to agree, well, we can do it another way. Yeah. So I try as much as possible to use my comedy, because sometimes even if you don't want to reply, because they say, don't shalaye, don't explain. So don't explain. So I try to use my comedy to just talk about it and touch it in a little way that I know that you understand the comedy, you laugh, but you still get the message. Because I really want this to change about girls. Because whether we like it or not, it is just the fact that they see us as less and they see us as we should just be in the kitchen and provide kids. Yeah.
So do you have any questions for us? You could ask something as simple as, how does the jollof taste?
No, I have a lot of questions. And I was going to first ask about, what movies do you guys watch? What is, your favorite music, your favorite food? Yeah, would love to hear a bit of that. Your favorite, I don't know, celebrity or singer.
Okay, so for movies, I only like comedies because I feel like life is already so hard. So I shouldn't have to stress my head so much. So anything that would just make me laugh.
Movies is my office. So I watch all types of movies, all kinds, from Bollywood to Hollywood to, I know everybody, all the top ones. And luckily for me, I've been to, the two industries, Hollywood and Bollywood also. I've worked in Bollywood and in Hollywood also. So, yes.
Okay. Well, for me, I like romantic movies.
I used to be like that. I got married.
Music is Beyonce. What are you doing?
What in me? I'm not really big on music, but when I do listen to music, Afrobeat.
All my friends now, they even ask me like, what song should we be listening to? So I am pushing everything Niger to the world.
Who's your favorite?
Shah Khan.
Oh,
So
it's my all-time crush.
Oh, she said, tell me my
I would love to know from everyone, like, what gives you hope for girls and women in Nigeria? Is there something that inspires you from your work, from your experiences? Is there something that you see in future that makes you more optimistic about girls and women in this country?
The example I'm going to give is in 2014, I was part of a group of women, young women who collaborated with one.org to do a song, Strong Girl. And at the time, I had my NGO, but, we were just doing like basic stuff. Well, there's really nothing that's basic, but my own understanding of giving back, which was, just probably community service and that kind of thing. And then the task was for us to write our parts of the song. So we did it in essay, and the name of the song was Strong Girl. And that's actually when I heard about you, because your name was in the song. So we had to do our research on the people that we were putting their names on. So her name, Michelle Obama, Oprah, so many other strong women, and strong African women as well, Miriam Makeba and all that. And that's when, it opened my eyes to how strong another woman can inspire another woman. Because she was so young when she went through what she went through. And in my mind, I'm not sure say I go fit do it. Yeah, I speak pidgin. I said, I'm not sure I would have been able to do what she did. But growing in the industry, some of the things I have done that from the backing of other women.
So one of the times when I was really, really down was when my mom was working, and, she usually take me to the office. She was part of like a diplomatic envoy to Namibia. And there was one of these bosses that, harassed me. And I went into my mom's office that day, and I went to tell her that, see, mommy, this man did so thing to me. I saw it in her face that she wanted to do something so bad, but she could not do it because, wow, we're going to lose our job. We're going to lose how we make money. We're definitely going to go back to square one. I saw it in her face, and the only thing she could do then was just for her to stop me from even coming to the office. So that, we're not going to have contact, because she cannot do anything to this man, because this man is her boss. And that day, I told myself that I don't care what I'm doing in this life, but you see that top where my child will never, ever have to go through this again. Or if peradventure you do it, I would definitely have that opportunity and that power to tell you to get out and don't come back in here again. I know my mom didn't have a choice, but I would definitely have a choice that you would never, ever be able to touch my child.
That's so powerful, and that's one note I would like us to anchor on, because that feeling of hopelessness, that feeling of like, I have to do this for my mom, that feeling of I want to empower the next generation, I think we can all relate to that here, seated on this table. for the girls who are watching, for the people around the world who want a sense of inspiration about what do we do next? How can I seek inspiration to keep on going in this world that is so tough, really, on every single one of us? You can draw from personal strength. You can draw from the stories of the phenomenal women that are seated here today on this table. And obviously, you can follow Malala's work on www.malala.org. Malala, thank you so much for spending your birthday with us in Nigeria. And thank you so much for finding us worthy to be in your company. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.